Tax may be seated. Have roll call of members, please.
Mr. Jeter, District 1.
Here.
Mr. Tipton, District 2.
Here.
Mr. Herron, District 3.
Here.
Mr. Bricky, District 4.
Here.
Mr. Mann, District 5.
Here.
Ms. Hood, District 6.
Here.
Ms. Addington, at large.
Here.
Thank you, ma'am. Next item is to approve the agenda. It's going to be amended, so Ms. Starnes, if you would, and we will vote on the amended agenda.
We need to remove item number 7, the Spearhead Trails presentation. And in place of that, please add the opioid resolution. And I also have a couple of things that I could have done under miscellaneous, but since we're amending, let's go ahead and add them in. That would be item 11B, Baker Tilly. Item 11C, Sheriff's request. And item 11D, inmate holding.
The second one was Sheriff.
Sheriff's request, yes.
Okay. All righty. Anything else?
That's the only changes that I have.
Okay. With that, we need a motion to approve the amended agenda. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion, Mr.
All
Chairman.
right. Ms. Hood made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Jeter, second. Any discussion? All fair vote saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Next item is approve the minutes from January the 4th, 2023. If you had a chance to look at it, we need a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
So moved.
All right, Ms. Addington made a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Bricky, second. Any discussion? All fair vote saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Next item is the citizen expression period. Let me read this short statement. We'll get right into that. Citizen expression period is a point of the meeting when anyone who wishes to address the board or staff may do so. If you wish to speak, please come to the podium and state your name, where you're from in the county, and or what organization you represent. The board may or may not respond to anything you say, but we will take everything you say into account when making future decisions. Please keep your comments concise and business-like. If no one has signed up to speak, have Ms. Starnes.
I have not.
We have no particular order. We just ask that you take turn to speak your business. Any action will be considered after we close this expression. With that, anyone wish to speak may do so at this time. Good morning.
Good morning. Do I need to state my name?
You do. Just for the record.
85 Snowflake Road, Gate City, Virginia. Well, I came down last Monday because I thought we were meeting on the first Wednesday of the month. I didn't think there was nobody here. But anyway,
Sorry.
I'm back, and when will our next meeting be? March the 1st?
March 1st.
Okay.
The reason we did that, we were in Richmond last week.
Well, did you find out anything?
We did. We'll talk about it in a few minutes.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that's what I've been on the phone to Haley, Terry Kilgore's secretary, and she called me back, but I wasn't home, but she finally did get back with me. But she said that Terry was supposed to be meeting with VDOT that Wednesday morning, but she said he probably wouldn't know anything for me to come to the meeting. And the gravel, well, and I've called VDOT several times. They did scrape the road. The first I called in a load of gravel on January the 5th, and they gave me a ticket number, but never did get anything. So then when I called back, they gave me another ticket. And I said, well, what happened to that ticket number, you know, that you gave me last week? She said, well, we'll have to void that one and give you a new one. And I said, well, we didn't get the gravel. And then they called me, I called them back yesterday, and I said, well, we got maybe a wheelbarrow load of gravel. And they always put it, and it's VDOT. They're not putting it where, you know, it needs it everywhere. But they different spots that really need it. And when I called them yesterday, I told them about 45 Snowflake Road, 4500 Snowflake Road. There's kind of a wet weather spring there, and it stays muddy. Even like now, you know, the road is not muddy or dusty, but that little spot, you go through that and it'll fold mud all over your vehicle. And the ditches, they haven't never done anything at Laura's driveway. and the ditch at my mom's driveway, and she's called too for gravel, but she said, I haven't seen a load of gravel, but the wheelbarrow that we got, you know, was put down below Jimmy Darty's place, and like I say, I just took notes, and I've called Terry Kilgore's secretary, and I get a hold of her secretary, and she gives a message too. Let's see. And so I called yesterday and got a hold of his secretary, but she didn't get back with me. But I didn't find out anything whenever the meeting for VDOT that Terry had. She hadn't found out anything yet. And now if you can let me know what you found out.
Wait to close citizen expression, don't leave, and we'll talk about it. See if anybody wants to speak, and we'll ask you to, just don't leave yet.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else wishing to speak? I guess we could have kept you up here. Nobody's going to speak. If you want to come back, Peggy, you can, and that way you can come back up here if you want to. Sorry, I thought somebody might want to talk, but come back if you would. That way you can look at us.
Eye to
eye. That meeting did happen. We were there when that meeting happened in his office, and they were taking notes about everything that our concerns. I have heard some good news already. I can't say what it is right now, but I have heard some good news from that VDOT has responded to in a way that's going to be pretty good. Let's be specific. Right now I can't, but I think, and I'm going to tell you, people coming to these meetings and you calling helps. A lot of people don't want to. They want somebody else to do it for them. You're not. You're doing it yourself. You're making the calls, and I commend you for that. That's why when you come back, I wanted to say that to you so you know that what you're doing is helping.
Okay.
And so anyway, we were there. How many was in that meeting? Do you remember? 10 or 12, Rita?
Yeah, it was a room full.
It was a room full. It wasn't just 2 or 3. And it was the people that can make a difference. But they were there. We were there too. Michael, Mr. Bricky was there, myself, and Mr. Tipton was there. And so they're listening. Now, to get that VDOT meeting, I didn't know it would happen. When Ms. Starnes first said, you know, we were getting them and they came, that's never happened before. So to get them there in his office that morning, on Wednesday morning, was a plus.
Well, see, and that's what I told, would pass along. Well, I told Haley, I said, well, VDOT don't know where the roads, I said, they need to turn that over to the Board of Supervisors because they know the roads.
Right.
So.
I drove that road back a few months ago, and even it's back in late summer, and which I don't drive that road regularly, but I know it does need work. It does. And,
yeah.
So.
And and Journey, you keep it on the 6-year plan.
It's in the.
And I hope that y'all will probably do away with that 6-year plan, because
That's the only weapon we have right now to use. We don't have anything else to use, and so the real rustic program and 6-year plan. I mean, that's just what we have now to deal with, and so. Well, for an example, Russell County, they have all their roads on a 6-year plan, which really that's the wrong way to do it. But we do have, you know, what we have, and hopefully there'll be more funding coming where we do more to these roads.
Okay.
And we have another plan too with some stuff that we're going to maybe some way to have a little skin in the game to maybe encourage them to do a little bit more than what they're doing. And we'll talk about that later. We can't talk about it right now, but we'll later that we maybe can do that.
Well, see, now that was like on a Thursday, it was 42 degrees. VDOT went up on the dirt road with salt truck in a scraper blade. Money wasted. I mean,
Well.
and it 42 degrees in the ocean. Oh, and I got one more question I forgot.
Well, let me ask Mr. Bricky and Mr. Marshall here. They were there, or Mr. Tipton was there, and so anyway, you all chime in too. You were there, so you're on this particular subject.
Well,
y'all would.
I'll say, I'll echo what Danny has said, the chairman. We are ears here when we hear you all. So we didn't hold anything back whenever we were talking to all of that room full of people, and they heard very well, and they took notes. There was questions that were asked, and I think, you know, there's going to be good results, you know, from it. So, and that's what it takes, is the meeting of all of those chiefs, and let's get down to the nitty gritty, you know, where it happens. So.
Well, see, what y'all been telling us, it's going to have to come down from Richmond.
It is.
And Terry Kilgore is our representative.
It is.
So.
while we were there, I'm gonna name some names. I was more impressed with this trip to Richmond than any I've been on. I've been on every trip since I've been on the board. And I think we got more done, we talked to more people, we got more feedback than we've ever gotten, especially from that meeting that morning. Turry was there, Pean was there, Wamper came in, Dean Lynch came in. There was 7 or 8, I think, from the highway department, 2 from Bristol, the rest from on up to the state. And we aired a lot of stuff with them. We went over practically everything I've heard in the past 3 years. And hopefully, well, I think we've already got some word that some things are going to be done. But you're exactly right. I've told the VDOT people here it has to start in Richmond. We can't do much here, but it has to start in Richmond and come down. But I feel good about it. It won't be the next week or the next month. It'll be, you know how it works. I've turned in things 3 years ago that I reminded them of in Richmond last week. So just be patient and
pray we
let your
live long
voice be
enough.
heard. Let your voice be heard.
Okay.
And what he said to people, Dean Lance was there, and he's the executive director of VACO, which is the Virginia Association of Councils. To get him in there, I mean, which he's an OKC board, but he was there, and Senator Pillion was there. So we had a room full of people that can make a difference.
And my
But it
husband-
starts right where you're standing. People will come, and I know sometimes I don't want to hear certain people complain, but sometimes it's very constructive, and it has been with you all.
Okay, well, I will continue to call
Yep.
Terry Kilgore's office and then another question, I forgot to mention this. I also told her about, we supported that Affordable Energy Act, you know, about AEP, and they were supposed to meet on that, but now, I didn't hear anything back on that. Did they discuss that or anything?
Did not. No. But that whole thing, I got that thing in the mail too. That is about going green, is all that's about.
Oh,
I mean, if you look at those people that sent that, that's what it's about. They're saying going green is cheaper, and it's not. You're going to, I mean, your electric rates are skyrocketing. It's going to be even worse if they try to do that. Let me give you, and I know this is not what we're about here. I'm on the board at the clinic in Dungannon. We're putting in a solar system. It's $259,000. That's what it's costing. We're putting $57,000 in. The government's putting $202,000. We'll save $1,000 a month. It's 75%. So it's going to cost $259,000. That's 259 months just to get our money back. How many years that is? Over 20 years. So it's, and that's a 75%. So that whole thing, I looked at that. And I looked those people up, and it's a go green to get rid of fossil fuels, what that's about. They're thinking it's cheaper, but it's not.
so we need to just, don't mention that.
I didn't, when you look these people up and see what their real agenda is, you'll see that it's about going green and getting rid of fossil fuel.
No.
That's when you're really going to pay. These rolling blackouts they had when they had the cold spell at Christmas. I know we're not about that here, but anyway, it's going green right now. One day it may be, but right now it is the most expensive way to go.
But it was, see, you know, my concern is, you know, that people that's on fixed income,
I agree.
their light bills are going up. I mean,
And I see it all the time on Facebook. People are putting on, they tag me in it, how much theirs has gone up, and it's ridiculous what their electric rates has gone up. I get tagged in a lot of that stuff so I can see it. Nothing we can do here, but we're with you on it.
okay,
Thank you for coming.
thank you. See you next month.
Okay. All right. All right. I know we get into more stuff there than sometimes we need to, but anyway, hopefully that will help. Next item is the opioid resolution, and Ms. Starnes, if you would.
You have the resolution in your packet. The resolution is for the Board of Supervisors to approve the county's participation in a proposed settlement of opioid-related claims against Teva, Allergan, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and their related corporate entities, and directed the county attorney and/or the county's outside counsel to execute the documents necessary for our participation in the settlements.
And I don't know the dollar amount that would be back to the county exactly, but you see the amount that they're looking at for is the overall scheme of things, but anyway.
This is different than the one we done several years ago.
Yes, correct. This is a different settlement.
Any other thoughts or comments to Ms. Starnes? All right, this resolution, we'll go with it, and I think we should, but I'll put it up there for a motion to approve this resolution. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Mr. Bricky made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Who?
Me?
Okay. Y'all sound the same, so I'm out right here, don't do that. Ms. Agnew, second. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Next item is item 8. It's Kim Smith from Heart of Appalachia. Update, so if you would, ma'am.
Good morning. Thank you all for having me this morning. I really appreciate it. My name is Kim Smith, and I'm currently serving as the Executive Director for Heart of Appalachia. So I just want to give you all some brief updates this morning about what the organization has been doing. So in 2022, we take a big focus. I'm a very data-driven marketing person, so I really like to be able to show hard numbers as to what we have done. And especially, receiving some state funding and receiving funding from the localities, I feel like I need to be able to show you all exactly what we do with the money. So in 2022, we increased our Appalachian Backroads website traffic by 21% over 2021, which 2021 was actually a very good year for visitation to the region because following COVID, people wanted to be outdoors. They wanted to be in less crowded areas. So a 21% increase over 2021 was really an impressive number. We're seeing a trend toward people wanting to get out and experience the outdoor recreation. Our website traffic this year alone, just in January, is already up over 40% over the same period of time in 2022. So it's just continuing to grow and snowball. On social media, our reach increased by 230% on Appalachian Backroads. And for those of you all who aren't familiar, Appalachian Backroads is basically just a network of mapped out motorcycle and sports car routes. And we package those in a way that allows us to market them directly to people who own motorcycles or sports cars. And we really dial in on the locations that have the most interest. And we track the conversions on that, which we measure by map requests. Just in 2022 alone, we had, it said we distributed in direct mail nearly 80,000 pieces of print material. By the end of December, that actually hit over 81,000. So that's 81,000 people who were interested enough in coming to our region to actually request material. So we're really excited about that. The Heart of Appalachia website also increased about 20% last year, and the Facebook page increased by 117%. So again, showcasing just how interested people are in coming to our region. On the left side of your packet, in 2022, we contracted a third-party organization out of Tennessee to do an economic impact study on the Heart of Appalachia region, which is 7 westernmost counties from Tazewell to Lee County, and the overall impact of traveler spending in the region was $253 million. With, if you look at the page behind that, with 28.7 million of that being in Scott County alone. So those are very, very positive numbers. We're really looking forward to this year. We're taking a more digital approach to marketing and really working on our marketing plan for this coming year. I've been writing grants with Virginia Tourism and VCTA to try to get some more money to market the region. Heart of Appalachia has historically been funded mostly with state funds. We also get DMME, or Department of Energy, civil penalties. And of course, with the decline of coal, those penalties have continued to decline. So we're more and more having to reach out to the localities for help. And we really hope that Scott County will be a partner moving forward. So if you all have any questions for me, my contact information is here. And on the left side, you have a business card. And this is specifically for our tourism-related businesses. If you have someone in your district that you think may not be listed on our website, feel free to give them this card, and they can either scan the QR code or go to the website and submit their business. And that just enables them, it's a free service for us to market all of those businesses. And we do that through our website and through Virginia Tourism's website and also through our social media. But I thank you all for letting me present to you this morning, and I wish you all a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good presentation.
Thank you.
The next item is the personnel policy update. Ms. Starnes and Ms. What's your name? Kegley? Hey, when you're old, you can do that. You can speak right out and forget the name. Go ahead.
These are updates adding about medical marijuana changes in the code that we need to incorporate in the personnel policy. Probably not anything we're going to run into, but still it needs to be.
I looked at it, looked good to me
In
when
there.
I seen it, so. All righty, any discussion here on the board? Like we need to approve this personnel policy updates. If we have a motion to do so, we will. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion that we,
Okay. Ms. Acton made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Herron, second. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item 10 is permit refund. Ms. Starnes.
Have that information on your tablet. Mr. Gilmer has requested that you consider doing a permit refund for Mr. Mark Sampson at 162 Warm Springs Road in Weber City. He is not going to be using the zoning permit that he requested. The fee is $70.
Okay. Is that okay to do that silent? Before we do that?
Yes.
All righty. Any questions, comments? If not, we need a motion to approve this refund of $70.
I'll make the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Hood made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Tippin, second. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next item, item 11, Virginia Department of Transportation letter. If you had a chance to look at that, Ms. Starnes.
This was a request at the last board meeting, and those are on your tablet for you to review. There are letters to Delegate Kilgore and Senator Pillion with Ms. Crowder at the VDOT Bristol District copied. If this is, I had shared with Mr. Mann to see if this was the right direction. If you all have any changes you would like to make, we can do that. These letters have not been sent out. They're just here for your approval or change today.
Okay. I thought the letter looked good. I don't know your all's thoughts. You had a chance to look at it, and you can chime in here, or we entertain a motion to approve to send it as presented.
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, Mr. Herron made a motion, Mr. Tipton second. Any other discussion? All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. 11B, Ms. Starnes.
11B is Baker Tilly. You have a handout in your packet that we will discuss. They are doing our compensation study that you approved back several months ago. They need a list of 10 peer organizations that you want comparables for. They have suggested a list of 15. The first 11 were on a previous study from 2005, and then some counties of approximate size have been added, 12 through 15. So we need to narrow this list down to 10 and approve that where they can continue working on the study.
You said narrow it down to 10?
To 10, yes.
Where is Page County and Orange County?
Northern Virginia.
Orange County is between Charlottesville and
Okay.
Washington, maybe?
To me, that would be one.
To get rid of.
Yeah, what about Page County? Where does it have the same?
It's not as far, no.
Not as far?
I was thinking town of Abington. I don't think that's really a comparable
No.
for a county, a town.
Okay, that town, okay.
Does it have to be in Virginia?
It doesn't.
Let's see. Bristol?
Page
Sorry.
County is next to Shenandoah and Rockingham. It's on the 81 corridor.
Okay.
Page is kind of comparable to us.
I would think so too.
The last 5. We delete the last 5.
They're not highlighted on here.
Just need to
Well,
find one.
the 12 through 15 were new additions, so that's why they're a different color. Orange County is near Charlottesville and Culpeper.
So we're only deleting 1?
We're deleting 5.
Yeah, we're keeping 10.
So those you think being on the county level would still give us good? I mean, are they gonna be?
Right, because they're comparable size.
Yeah, okay.
But that one, since that is, more next to bigger metropolitan areas,
Yeah.
that might be a good one to take off if you wanted to take off Orange. Did you think Town of Abington to take that
Well,
off?
I don't know, when you said that, I did, until you said that, it may be different. But what I think about the Town of Abington, someone that lived here in Scott County could travel to Abington to work.
Okay.
That's sort of how that's a good thing. We've got one in Tennessee, or 2 in Tennessee, because you got the city of Kingsport. So, that's we're having to compete against that. So, that's my thought. Maybe Orange County. That's the location.
Is everybody good with that one to take
Yeah,
off? Okay. That's 1. We need 4 more.
Oh.
We're gonna take 5 off.
Oh. Okay.
So you took off,
Orange is the only thing right now.
orange is the only one, okay.
The city of Bristol, Tennessee, would it have been better for Bristol, Virginia? That's just my thoughts.
Okay.
I mean, since this is income based, right, this is kind of like looking at, I think what we need to take into consideration too, what the median incomes are for those counties, maybe. I don't know if that's right or not. I mean, maybe. So where it's comparable.
I think that's how they came up with the
Is
list.
that how they came up with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we need to come up with 5. Is that
Yeah,
right?
4 more.
Eliminate 5.
Yeah, so let's try to, I think Russell County should be on there.
Yes. Lee County should be on there.
Lee County should be on there. Wise
Washington
County should be on
Wise
there.
County.
Washington County and Kingsport.
Washington, both Tennessee and Virginia.
Okay.
You could take off Washington County, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's Johnson City.
Am I looking at that right though? I mean, according to where people could travel, I mean, that's where Kingsport would be competition for us to be able to hire somebody. Do we need, I mean, am I looking at that right?
It says selection of comparable peers should be based on similarity in size, such as number of employees, population served, and revenue, geography, services provided, industry, and competition.
Of course, Kingsport's not gonna be comparative in size. I mean,
Right, but they would be
population.
competition for
They'd be
employees.
competition. Yeah, okay.
Is that Greene County, Tennessee?
No, it's Virginia.
It's Virginia. Okay. Didn't know if we had a Greene County.
It is part of Charlottesville, Virginia metropolitan area. That's what it says on here.
So you want to take that one off too?
Which one?
Green, number 13,
Greene County?
since it's near Charlottesville.
So,
Yes. And so with these right here, their size, and there'd be a lot of things different, I would imagine.
Louisiana County.
where is that?
Yeah, I would take Greene County.
Where is it located?
Louisiana is,
Eastern.
yeah.
It's home of the Flying Flucos.
It is, that's what I was gonna say. I remember that
Yeah, I
from
remember
the,
too.
from the ball game.
Yep. I don't know what a Fluco is, but
Yeah, I don't
that was their,
either. It is,
It's like a golfer. It's Tech.
Yeah.
Looks
What
like
is it?
it is Charlottesville area.
I think Jeremy wants to leave it because
Sort of,
they,
maybe.
our employees could be.
It
going.
looks-
Well, I mean, but we only
It
have to
is.
have 5. We could cut Abingdon off. People would be more apt to go to Kingsport than they would Abingdon.
We keep 10. We wanted to get rid of 5.
Counties.
Oh.
Too far
We
north.
keep
Yes.
I'm all.
Probably.
They keep adding it. I said,
Last
on the bottom
time
half of
they
town,
did
something
all
there,
that.
so.
It goes off.
Yeah,
Take
that's what I
off
said.
Orange County, we're there.
That's it. Yeah.
Savannah
What was the
County,
decision?
their median,
Keep
their
Abingdon and
median
leave.
household income is
The last
$70,000.
4 plus Orange County, we got.
They're not, that's not a comparison.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
Now, Appomattox, I wouldn't think that one would be.
Prince Edward is very similar in size to us, so that's why they've got it on, got those 4 on the bottom there. They're comparable to
They are.
population.
Okay, so how about the Greene County, and Savannah, and Appomattox?
Fluvanna, I wouldn't think. I think we need to remove that one.
I don't like them view.
Is everybody okay
I'm
with removing
teasing.
that one?
I'm teasing.
We beat them, Twin Springs won that game, didn't they, when they played them?
No. I didn't.
Okay, we've removed Orange and Fluvanna.
We're talking ball games here, Fred.
How about Greene County?
You want Green removed as well?
Green, Fluvanna, and then let's look at Appomattox.
Here's 4. One more.
So which court we got rid of? Orange, Green, and Fluvanna?
Appomattox, Florida, Greene County, and Orange.
I wouldn't think Appomattox.
Get rid of Appomattox?
Yes.
I would think
Is
so.
that fine, Fred?
That's 4.
Yep.
I got Orange, Green, Fluvanna, and Appomattox. What was the 5th one?
Prince Edward.
Prince Edward.
What about Washington County, Tennessee?
I thought we talked about leaving Prince Edward earlier.
Prince Edward's still on there.
Yeah, we left it on there.
Washington County, Tennessee's fine with me.
I would say either
Because
get
their
rid of,
population's 133,000.
get rid of Johnson City or Washington County, get rid of one of them, so.
Well, Appomattox County has a population of 16,000, so it's not, and they're, I mean, even though it is next to Lynchburg, up in that area, it's still, I would think, similar, maybe. Or comparable, I guess that's the right word.
Which one? Appomattox?
Appomattox, I mean, their median household income looks like
Look at the
55,000. It seems similar, in my opinion.
Did you recommend Abingdon, Fred?
I recommended taking Abingdon off because they're a town.
One thing about Appomattox, though, it's their population is on a steady incline. Ours is on a steady decline. But
Abingdon is a town. That's the only town on there, isn't
All right, let's go.
so what do we decide? We still need one more.
Yeah.
So what we got, Orange County, Greene County, Fluvanna, and which other one?
it? Appomattox.
Appomattox.
Need one more. Washington County, Tennessee.
So y'all still okay with Appomattox? That's the one we was just talking about, right? Jeremy had mentioned it's on a steady increase. Ours is, the population and ours is decreasing.
But it's just, well, I mean, I don't know. That would matter.
All right, you want to go with Orange, Washington County, Tennessee, Green, Fluvanna, and Appomattox, that'd be 5.
Which county, Tennessee?
Washington County. Keep Johnson City, get rid of Washington County, Tennessee. That'd be 5. Orange, Washington County, Tennessee, Green, Fluvanna, and Appomattox.
Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah.
Do we need to vote on this, Brad?
Yes, please.
All right, everybody good with that? We need a motion to get rid of those 10 on the list of 15 you have. Do we have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Tipton made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Peter second. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
The next item we added was a sheriff's request, and that's in your packet as well. This request has stemmed from conversations that we had on Friday with the judge, the sheriff's office, the attorney's office. It kind of ties into request for 11D. A cargo container has been requested by the sheriff's office to be able to move their files from the old jail and have a place to store those securely on county property. They have done some quotes for like a Connex box storage container, with the cheapest one being $5,250. And they were requesting, since this is not in their budget and it's been something that's come up this fiscal year after the budget was approved, to see if the board would provide funding for that box so that we could get those files moved out of the courthouse and proceed with the demolition of those buildings.
Is that a one-time payment?
It's a one-time thing, yes.
Can we use ARPA funds for that?
We could, or you could use contingency, either one.
How are we on contingency?
41,000.
That's for a year?
No, that's just one-time
One
purchase.
time.
Oh, we purchased, buying it, okay, all right.
Yeah, it's a purchase.
All right, your all thoughts, you're on the board, so that's something we need to do, so your all thoughts.
I'll make a motion, we do it.
You want to, where the money to come from?
How much ARPA funds we got? A lot.
About 380.
Which uses it? ARPA for contingency.
Contingency.
I'll second that motion.
All right, we have a motion that Mr. Bricky second, come from a contingency fund, $5,250. All in favor, vote saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the motion carried. Inmate hold.
Okay, so
Can we put them in this box we just bought?
So,
Sorry.
for the past year, we have had discussions on what to do with the inmates. Since we moved them out of the old jail facility, they have been staying in the courthouse, in the hallway, in the offices there off the judge's chambers. Some days, a couple times a month, they have 20 plus inmates that are in that area, and it's very crowded. So after the meeting on Friday, it was suggested that we maybe get a contractor's trailer or some kind of storage, temporary storage facility that we could put the inmates in. While the sheriff's office was at the Green Cube place on Monday, they can do a custom like Connex box for inmate holding. They could put, you just draw it out the way you want it. They could put the doors in, bathrooms, heat and air, and they could put it on a chassis where we could park it where we needed to and move it as needed. Bill, unfortunately, is out sick yesterday and today, so he was working on that. So I don't have a price yet. We may have to do a special meeting if you want that expedited. They said we could get one of these fitted to our needs in 2 weeks. So the time for construction would be pretty quick if we did the green solution. I don't have any idea of the price, so I really don't know what ask to make. It is something that we really need to do because we need to get those inmates in a different location than outside the courthouse. So I really don't have any more information than that. I have no idea on the cost at this point.
Do you have a range at all?
I'm thinking maybe 20 to 30,000.
That's a purchase? Not
That would be a
rental.
purchase, but that's just ballpark. If one of these planes $5,200, I'm thinking, 20 to 30 for one that's custom for our needs.
What would we do with it when it's no longer needed?
Right.
We could sell it.
Could we use it some aspect?
We could look at that and see, you know, we could probably redo the inside.
There'd probably be a use for it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe even for the county, I mean, for tools, maintenance tools or something, you're strapped right now.
Right, if you wanted to do something up to, say, 30,000, and tell me how you want that funded, you know, we could go that route. Once we get the prices, I can, of course, share that information with you, or we can come back once we have more details on how that's looking.
That probably would need to come from ARPA funds if we could.
Yeah.
Yes.
What will they just have a plug-in, like plugging a canker in or something?
Yeah, they said it would be a 110 on the.
Just 110?
Mhm.
Wow.
That'll run the heat and everything?
Yeah, they said it would.
So it wouldn't-
Of course, if we go over 30,000, it's gonna have to be sealed bid anyway. So we'll just have to do our procurement procedures and make sure all of that's done correctly.
Up to 30.
It's ever how y'all, you know, want to handle.
So we're gonna have to have one.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think we'll just have to do it regardless of price.
Just go ahead
It's my
and
opinion.
get the bids.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, if it's below
Look at our
30,000,
ARPA
don't have to
funds,
get
below
the
30,000.
bid. She said it don't have to.
Yeah, right, if it's under 30,000.
Yeah, we'll have to do process, but it just won't be sealed bid.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say go ahead.
So we entertain a motion and for it to come from the ARPA funds up to 30,000. And then if it goes over, we have to have a special call meeting to approve it. Is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we need a motion to approve it up to 30,000 come from the ARPA funds. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
All right, Mr. Hurd made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll say.
Mr. Tippin, second. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Let me tell you something. The judges have really been patient with us and working with us, trying to get some things done out there. And, you know, we wish we had with that bids and stuff we have on the motor contractor stuff to the courthouse. And we got other plans that's going to work, I think, with the purchase of the Daisy Compton building. So anyway, a lot is happening with this. They've been very patient with us, and I do, you know, I appreciate them doing that.
Have we got ideas where we're gonna put both of these things?
Yes, the sheriff's office will be in a secure location, and then we've measured and we can fit this right behind the old library, the judge's house, because it's not very wide, and there's other buildings. We were concerned about once that demolition project starts with that being so close, but it's not going to be any closer to the old jail than the courthouse is, or the building right next door. So I know Wise County just took down their old jail, and it stayed right in that footprint. So hopefully, you know, we'll be okay with just putting it right there. And it looks like water and sewer hookup is pretty close to that location as well, right behind the old library.
Okay. All right. A lot to do here today. Is that it?
That's all I have. Yes.
Next item is Ms. Vickers, bookkeeping. Ms. Amy.
Please appropriate $8,155.20 to Sheriff's Office repair and maintenance of vehicles, 3120-6009, for an insurance claim received and deposited at the Treasurer's Office. And appropriate $21,820 to Sheriff's Vehicle Replacement, 3120-8001, for an insurance claim received. And appropriate $13,219.42 to Circuit Court Clerk's Technology Trust Fund, Capital Outlay Office Equipment, 29-21655-8102, for monies received. And appropriate $324.72 to Sheriff's Department Travel Conferences, 3120-5540, for reimbursement received. Appropriate $1,803.55 to Circuit Court Clerk's Travel Training, 2160-5540, for reimbursement received. Appropriate $1,647.56 to Commonwealth Attorney's Conference Travel, 22100-5510, for reimbursement received. And appropriate $256 to state paid contributions, 32200-5645, from Virginia Department of Fire Programs Fund FY 2023. Disbursement received and deposited at Treasurer's Office, and that's all the appropriations.
Thank you, ma'am. Need a motion to approve the appropriations as described by Ms. Vickers. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Hood made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Jeter, second. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. On grants, Ms. Amy.
Please accept Sheriff's Office DCJS 2023 Operation Ceasefire Grant number 2023-OCGP grant. If accepted, please establish the following expense codes for 31305. It's 1105 for grant salaries, 2100 employers FICA, 2210 employers VRS, 2300 employers share health insurance, 2400 employers life insurance, 2600 unemployment insurance, 2720 workers comp, and 6001 for office supplies.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Need a motion to approve the grants as described. Ms. Vickers, we have a motion.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Tipton made a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Ricky, second. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, ma'am. Next item is appointments. Ms. Sage, you with us, Dan?
You have one appointment to make to the Crooked Road Board. John Kilgore has been serving and he did reapply, and that's your only applicant.
Do you have any nomination for the Crooked Road?
I'll nominate John Kilgore.
Any other nominations?
I'll make a motion nomination cease and vote by acclamation.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Jeter, second. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Ms. Taylor.
You have one appointment to the Southwest Regional Recreation Authority. Eugene McClellan has been serving. He did reapply, and he is your only applicant.
Any nomination for the Southwest Regional Recreation Authority?
I'll nominate Mr. McClellan.
Okay. Any other nominations?
I'll move the nomination to cease.
Okay. We have a motion nomination to cease, vote by acclamation. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Tipton, second. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? You're laughing at me.
She was trying to say.
Oh, she was?
Every time I was the one on.
Turned on.
I look at your face, I see that also. Y'all do good with me, thank you, though. You really do. Thank you for saying it. You've done good earlier. Thank you, done good with it. County Attorney item, Ms. Kegley.
I don't have anything today.
Okay, anything for her, any questions or anything? Ms. Kegley. Moving on. Next item is County Administrator items, Ms. Starnes.
The general fund balance after claims is $15,345,650.38. And you can see by your comparison chart, that's about double where it was this time last year, but don't get too excited. The school system still has to draw down their funds. That's $7.2 million. So then you'll be in line where you were last year. Some larger claims that we'll discuss. We had early sets for the ATL money. For the fire departments, you'll see that on the very back sheet. AEP as well. And your total early claims totaled $467,827.74. Current claims, the big one, of course, is the regional jail quarterly for the third quarter. That was $723,569.97. Audit cost $46,250 for Bostic Tucker. Fire departments that got their final allocation for the year were Dungannon, Fort Blackmore, and Weber City. That does finalize fire and EMS payments for the year for their regular allocations. We had Rio Grande Fence Company, that was for the sheriff's impound lot that was paid for with ARPA funding, $22,297. And if you see any others that you have questions about, just let me know. Total claims, current claims was $1,132,962.24 for a total that needs to be approved today, $1,600,789.98.
So all the fire departments has pulled all their money.
Yeah, we had the three, Dungannon, Fort Blackmore, and Weber City were the only three remaining. So it was a big total.
So this right here would be after claims?
The claims are already out of that, yes.
All right.
What about the school make pull their?
They've only pulled 250,000, so I'm not sure.
I don't know. I was talking to Ms. Starnes about that. I'm surprised they haven't needed that money, so they haven't pulled it down yet. So I don't know. It's very unusual. It's never happened before that I can remember that they would be delayed this long in pulling money down. And they're still operating, so I don't know. I don't know. I wish this money was in an investment pool so we'd draw an interest off of it. I don't know. I wish it was. It would help a lot if we did that. But anyway, and pull it down as needed. But that's neither here nor there.
Turn it back to him.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that loud. All right. Any other discussion on before we vote on paying the bills? If not, entertain a motion to pay it. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion to pay the bills.
I was waiting for you, all right. All right. Ms. Agnew made the motion. Do we have a second?
Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome. I don't need to ignore you. I really don't.
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
All right. Ms. Hood, second. Any other discussion? All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
They
Motion
saved
carried.
you the 1.6 million, I noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on you now.
Yeah, that's on
Yeah.
Dan.
You know,
Stephanie voted to-
we may get a little out here, but we like to enjoy what we do and sort of go after each other a little. We have fun doing it, but it's just part of it. So thank you all. Miscellaneous.
Just one thing, I wanted to give you an update on the smart scale projects. Number 4 scoring was Kingsport MPO's application for the first part of the Weber City corridor from the Tennessee state line to the bridge. That total was $9,191,094, and that was a Kingsport MPO project with Scott County as a partner. And then number 8 was our US 23 from the bridge to Addington Oil changes with Chapel Street and some other railroad crossings through there. That application was $7,389,395. Both of those were in the 14 that was recommended for funding. Those will be finalized in June at the Commonwealth Transportation Board meeting. So it looks like both of our projects will be funded for this last round of Smart Scale. So that's very good news, and a lot of money that would be coming for road improvements for the county. And I just wanted to give you that update, and I'll keep you posted as we move along once those are formally finalized.
That's in June at meeting.
I believe June or July.
You called that the Commonwealth what?
Commonwealth Transportation Board, CTB.
I've gone to a lot of those, and so I'll try to go to this one too if you want to go. It's interesting, and you hear a lot of stuff. You hear a lot of stuff from all the county, all the other counties, what they're thinking and stuff are too. So we got time to think about if we need to attend that, and I'll probably go. I have before, and I don't mind doing it again. All right, that's just for information only, correct?
Yes, it is.
Anything else?
That's all I have.
Man, we're moving quick. It's almost 9:30 yet. We're gonna get John up here.
Mr. Francis will go first.
He is? Well, I want John first. I'm teasing. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm usually brief, but I'll be very brief this morning. I know I just came to the board there in November. Usually December or January aren't the most exciting months for recreation and golf, but I do have a few things to get on here quickly. Memorial Park, I'm just going to real quick say, you know, we've done a lot of recent improvements there. I've talked about, so it's in great shape and it's in a good spot. So thank you for all the support you've had there with Keith Memorial Park. You've heard me talk about Dovefield Community Park. It's one we're starting to now turn some attention to and resources to. We've already done a few small projects there. I'm working with Tucker Begley. He's the president of the Ryco Little League Baseball, Softball. I want to thank him. He's kind of been my eyes and ears out there. I'm spread thin sometimes, and I don't really get to go out there as much as I really honestly should. And with him, he's kind of letting me know, hey, here's what we need to do, and we're getting some things rolling there. So a lot of planned stuff, nothing big, just some little improvements that we needed to do. So next year, too, probably going to be focusing a lot of attention on Duffield Community Park. I will be requesting some additional funding in the budget upcoming for Duffield Community Park for those, but it's nothing big. It's just small amounts that they need to kind of bring that park up to where it needs to be. So Right now, registration's underway for our 2023 Youth Basketball League. That's usually about 100, 125 kids. Deadline's Friday. If anybody's watching or listening, get your kids signed up. That league begins the end of February. We'll start practicing, and then the games will run through the middle of April. So that's really all I've got on the rec side of things. Down here on the golf course side, I've been talking about our revenue. Right now, we're at an over 3% increase over the same time last year. I know that number's getting smaller, but we've been doing so well, that's kind of expected. I think if we can maintain or increase, I mean, those numbers are probably not, you know, I think I came before you the past few times, and there were some big increases, you know, but we're still staying at an increase over that. As you know, the last 2 or 3 years, we've been on a really positive revenue path there, so I think there's some things I want to mention here that's helped that you all help support, so just trying to keep that going. I think we're in a good position right there to keep that momentum going, so. Something that's kind of helping that, but I want to talk about it a different way, the rental room. Maybe this is anecdotal. It seems like that room's being rented as much or more than it ever has. It's almost every weekend, at least one. I know this weekend's 3 rentals, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That helps revenue. It's not a big number. We keep that very affordable for the citizens. But really, I want to point out, that's a big, probably something is underrated. We offer that to the citizens of Scott County. There's reunions, parties, weddings, and very much, I would imagine, the most affordable facility for that for people. It's very affordable and it's used a lot. So going down the road, we're probably going to look at doing some repair, some improvements there. I'll give the bill with Public Works. It's in good shape now. We did some improvements right when I first came on as an assistant under Skip. But we're probably looking, you know, coming up, we probably need to do a few things to remain competitive with the surrounding venues. But you know, we got people that rent that thing every single year for a reunion. So just really happy we offer that to the citizens.
I really like that place.
Yes.
I've gone to some events there, and I think it's very nice.
Pretty view. I see it every day. I probably take it for granted, but it's, you know, people come up there and they're like blown away by the view in the fall and the spring.
It's beautiful.
It's nice up there. I take it for granted. I walk out that door every day to see that. But
you know, something that even for years I've thought about with that, what you have up there, if we could ever build something there that would, for people to have their little conventions, whatever, people to come and make it something maybe bigger and better. And I don't know if that could ever happen, but I thought it's a perfect spot to do something bigger than what's there.
We are limited in space. There's probably some things we could do. I don't know how big we could go, but you know, like in a perfect world, maybe you get big enough to maybe host a prom or a smaller expo convention thing, maybe. But now we are space limited, parking and building wise. But we've had some what I guess we'd call like boutique shows there. But I mean, it's been probably pretty crowded. But people have had like little shop, like stop and shop things where they set up, I guess, almost like a small shop, you know, with different vendors and stuff. We've had that before, so we've had a variety of things up there. But
I've attended stuff at Meadowview, and the golfing thing, everybody, and they get into that, and plus you got everything there in place now to get people to come to have those, and they'll do their golf thing too, you know, while they're coming to some kind of, you know, whatever they would have, a convention or whatever. But there's something, I don't know, I don't feel every time we're always short of money, of course, to do things, but still it's something.
It always comes down to money at the end. It does.
It does.
But I agree, and you know, maybe down the road we can look at some type of what we could possibly do within the scope of something reasonable, you know. But
anyway, it's something
I know you've talked before, and I have that on my agenda, on my calendar to keep looking into as far as expansion and that kind of thing. So I keep mentioning Scott Service, and I want to brag on them again. We continue to work with them. I probably bother them a lot, but they've been great. You know, there's always times they do big projects for us, but you know, they did a lot of just basic everyday things for us. This past week they came up and picked up sticks and limbs and branches. You would think after so many years eventually a storm would knock them all down, but every storm I'll drive up the hill to number 3, I'll look over and there's just branches everywhere. So it allows our staff, you know, we're a small staff, it allows them to focus on the golf course and things they need to, and I just really want to, you know, that's been a great program for us personally. They've helped us out with all kinds of things up there, so big shout out to Scott Service again. And lastly, down here, you know, we are doing our spring, winter and spring equipment maintenance. We have a lot of equipment up there. We have a lot of high dollar equipment. You know, this time of year we're changing all the oil, bearings, grease, belts, that kind of thing. I wouldn't call us experts, but we're definitely serviceable mechanics. We do try to do almost all of our repairs and maintenance work. I would say 95. Very rarely do we have to outsource repairs and maintenance, and that's a good thing. I know right now we're working on a cable for a fairway mower, and I think just to get the vendor, just to get him there is $600, the mechanic. And you know, it may take us a half a day or two, but we can usually get it and save that. So we do try to do all that maintenance ourselves. And lastly, you know, we will be needing new golf carts coming up probably next year or two. I have presented that to the Capital Improvement Committee. We're on a different trend. Other courses mostly do every 3 to 4 years and get a new fleet. We go about 8, 9, 10, and it's worked out for us well. We're getting to that point again. But you know, the golf carts are for us, if you look at our revenue, we have it broken down into items. Golf cart rental is our highest revenue item. So it's important to have, you know, functioning, nice, working entire fleet. You know, even if 1 or 2 or 3 are down, it does affect your tournaments and that kind of thing, plays in the summer. But you know, our revenue's been up, play's been up. I want to thank you all. You know, we really have good equipment. Our staff works hard, extremely hard in the summer, but honestly, I think over the last 5 to 10 years, some of that revenue increase is tied to some of the equipment and some of the agricultural things we've done there. The course is, you know, I keep saying it, but I keep hearing it from longtime members. It's in excellent shape. People that come that haven't been there in 10, 12, 15 years always say, wow, this looks different. That's the first thing they say, wow, this is different. And a lot of that is too, I mean, our staff is doing great, but it's some of that equipment. You know, you've got to have that golf equipment that's very specific to those roles. And I thank you all. Y'all supported us on that. And I really think that's been a big driver of this. It's you know, someone comes there for the first time, it's in great shape, they come back. I know we're probably going to see an influx this year from, I think Silver Lake is closed. And that was a very comfortable course. It was a 9-hole course close to us. So we're probably going to, I'm already hearing people coming like, well, I'm going to start coming here. I'm going to start, you know, I'm actually there, you know. So you want to have that place top notch when they come. That's when they, you know, sign up for a tournament, sign up for a membership. So I think that is definitely directly related to that revenue trend. So thank you. I appreciate it.
You have I mean, you folks working as far as building up comp time, are you managing that pretty good to keep them getting, I mean, I can see, you know.
We're managing, British finger. No, we have a lot of comp time.
I know you manage it, I wanted to know, I know it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, right now they've used a lot, but you know, it's always, it's like a seesaw game. As soon as we get down to this time of year, about February, March, what I would call a manageable level, then April, May, June, because they're working, you know, Saturday, Sundays, usually 10, 12 hours. That's where it just goes back up again. It's always I feel like we never gain a lot of ground. It feels like it's always a up, down system kind of. I know we've talked about, I mean, of course, it would be money, like a part-time closer position, and that would probably help some, but obviously that costs, you know, I don't know what you gain on, you know, that would be something we could look at, but, you know, you're obviously putting money into that position, and you've got money on the other end too, so.
Well, just a quick something, I was at a golf conference once, had some people there from China. They were all playing golf. They didn't want to play golf. They just wanted to ride around the golf cart. That's all they wanted to do was drive a golf cart. That was it. They didn't want to play golf.
So you said people will do that. And generally we say, yeah, go check it out if you hadn't seen it. But
so maybe what y'all did, people want to come ride the golf cart. You know?
Well, during the high school golf season, that's like, I mean, that's a big revenue driver. So we have those golf teams there. You know, we don't charge them, right. But every parent, grandparent, cart. I mean, we've run out of carts at tournaments for those kids, you know, because they want to follow the kid. You know, they do pay a fee for that. So
anyway,
they do spectate. Now we got people that want to spectate during tournaments, but we don't have enough carts for that. So I just want to watch people play. But now the high school tournaments, yeah, we rent the carts out for the parents and grandparents. So.
All right, I'll mention one thing.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
There's one thing I want to bring up, and I think it's to be a good time. Well, we were in Richmond. We mentioned to several people Natural Tunnel State Park and the pool. Pam, you'll be interested in this. I don't know if you've got information yet or not, but they closed 3 state pools in Virginia, and ours was not open last summer. And Natural Tunnel has been ranked #1 on their priority list to come in and refurbish, rebuild, whatever they've got planned. But the bad news we got is that the cost of that went from $2 million to $4 million. Now, I made the statement, I think Terry Kilgore did, that you take Tucker and his dad and go on any mountain in Scott County and build a pool for less than $4 million. So it's on Terry's radar, he knows about it, and if you have any influence, or Pam, you know people that you run into, mention that.
Yes,
we need
okay.
that back for our local people, our surrounding counties, and for tourism coming in.
Now that you mentioned that, I've gotten calls and people say, hey, is it, coming back and come back? I'm like, I've referred them to Natural Tunnel, but so there's definitely an interest need for that service here, and because I've been getting those calls and inquiries, so you're definitely right.
I think our church kids, it's always packed. I mean, the place was full.
I went there as a kid for trips.
Yeah.
My wife did, I'm sure
there's always a lot of people there. I've never seen it.
Family
It's
has.
always full.
Yeah. And I know, same thing with sometimes Parks and Rec. I know that, does that pool make a profit? It may not. It
Probably not.
Pools are tremendous costs, but you do need to factor in the travel, the gas, I mean, there's a lot of other factors tied in, and it's a service to the community. It is. For various reasons, for education, for trips, for memories, So I agree. I've gotten quite a few calls this spring about it. So
I've gotten inquiries about it also.
it's hard to believe that it's been what, 3? Will this be the 3rd year?
Second or third, yeah.
That's hard to believe.
How's your membership at the golf course? Up, down?
We're up. Obviously, I would say we're not near where, when I say the heyday, back in the 90s, early 90s, mid 90s, that's when golf courses were booming. They were building them, it seems like everywhere. We're not there. We're probably halfway to there, but there was a time we were a fifth of that. So we're probably double what we were the last, well, I won't say bad. The last time we were low numbers, we're probably double our low numbers. So we're in a good spot there. Yeah, and it keeps, we offer specials. It's coming up. We always offer spring specials. Membership always jumps up then. We offer junior memberships at a very competitive rate for the kids that are still in school. Extremely competitive because we really want, that's going to be your future golfers. We try to kind of get them in early and keep them. So, but yeah, memberships are up over the last, well, especially the last 5 years, but the last every year we've slowly ticked up. So, and like I said, I do look for us to gain. I'm not going to say a huge number, but with Silver Lake closing, it wouldn't shock me for us to gain 10 or 12, 15 from that situation. So,
Good presentation.
all right, thank you.
Thank you. Good
I
job,
appreciate
Terry.
John letting me go before.
All right.
This will be the 4th year the pool's been closed.
The fourth level.
Yeah, because it's
Yes.
been closed since COVID, 2020.
Wow. Mr. Cooper.
Wow.
Good morning. How are y'all doing? Good. Thank you for the opportunity to present. I'll start with the Riverside. Appreciate all the support for economic development. Had good meetings in Richmond. Some of y'all went to that with people that are basically new. A lot of people, like the SCTC. They got a new director. We were able to meet with him. With, of course, also Virginia Tourism Corporation and also the Virginia Economic Development Partnership. And they expected probably about 10 people in that meeting. They ended up being, there was a room full. I didn't count them. There's probably 30 in there. But I think it's important that they know about Scott County, know where we are, and know what we're doing, know our priorities. And I appreciate the ones that attended those meetings there. So I'll start talking about the Riverside development. Earlier last year, Barge actually updated our master plan. Our original master plan did not really tell the story of what we were trying to do there. It's always mixed use. So this kind of tells that the commercial up front and the green space, and then you would have some residential in there as well. So from there, the next one, then the announcement back November 2nd was related to a housing opportunity. So since that announcement, we've had multiple meetings electronically with DHCD and Landstar, of course, and Virginia Housing Authority. Virginia Housing Authority is supposed to visit in the next 2 weeks, their director, and look at the sites, not only in Scott County, but also look at Wise County and Big Stone Gap as well while he's here. And then Landstar continues to work on the final design. They're supposed to present something to Virginia Housing Authority soon for them to take a look at as well. So they're still working on that. So that's what their intent is of course to build the townhomes below the former Teletech building, T-Tech building, and then move to single family homes later on. But the townhomes will be the initial start of the housing. And then you can see they left the green space, which is down close to the river, on this plan as well. And you'll have a commercial component up front. They have, of course, along with focus on housing, like they told you, that they focused on the mixed use and commercial. And I think he's already reached out to at least 4 potential commercial properties or companies that they know. DMME, Devil's Bathtub Project, and of course this is the AMLR funds. The total project or total budget for that was $353,430.18. And we advertised the road, the parking lot that was the old parking lot that everybody used, that had the ruts in and everything. That was before the county did the parking lot, a nice parking lot down there. So we were advertising to help Jefferson National Forest upgrade that as a part of this project. So that's what we advertised, and it was over budget. So we're still working on that, value engineering on that. They have started working on the trail. The trail portion of that, 50% of the remaining work on the trail will be around the stream band. So they've got to wait till the water's a little lower. So it'll be either spring or summer of this year, and they can get back in there, and it'll take them about 2 months to get that finished. And then they have the last, in November, December, they did close the mine portal, and the surrounding area has been reclaimed, and that's part of the project too. That's why we were able to get the AMLR funds. It's because there was an old coal mine back in there a long time ago. Nicholsville Farmer Market, we did Farmers Market apply for the $25,000 APID. We have that, and the Board of Supervisors, y'all approved the ARPA funds. We have got an estimate waiting on to meet with them. Jeremy and I have been trying to drive that and talk to them about that. So we've got Jeff Kegley as an estimate. We've got to meet with that group, and then we'll proceed to the next step. Hopefully we can get that under construction soon. Oh, sorry, too quick. Another thing we worked on last year was the TVA Workforce Invest. We applied for a grant through TVA, and that's in partnership with Mountain Empire Community College and the EDA. Total project cost was $54,114. And that's supporting manufacturing skills training in Duffield. One of those things that trying to increase the knowledge of the teachers in the region about the industry that we have in Duffield. So they had a summer institute for teachers, so that was where we highlighted. They met in Duffield. They toured the Duffield plants, and we'll continue that outreach to our local teachers here in Scott County as well. And we provided them lunch for that summer institute. We'll continue to work on this year, and as we got to have this money expended by the end of this year, we'll work with the TVA folks and Mountain Empire on doing other events for this. Small business support, we focus on existing industry, and that's very important. And just a little highlight on existing industry. Since 1999, that's back, I think, as far as I can recall, as far as records that we have, VFP and Temper have expanded 5 times. That's a lot. If you think about VFP has invested over $90 million in Scott County. I mean Temper's invested over $90 million. Then you got VFP that's continuing to invest there too. 5 expansions for VFP, 3 expansions for Komatsu, formerly Joey Mining Machinery. And when you look at those, they have invested heavily in our county, and we need to continue to treat them as great corporate citizens, and that's what we try to do. We also support the small businesses as well. And how do we do that? by a rural business development grant. We've been successful in applying to rural development 3 different times to fund this, because all of our funds have been depleted 2 times. This last time we got more money to put in that, so we can loan out that money to businesses. So we can loan up to $25,000 to a small business at it's a really good rate. So we work with Small Business Development Center, and if you have somebody that wants to start a business, that's a good place for them to start, because their services are free. They do a business plan for them for free, work with them on that. Then they come to us, talk about a loan, or talk to VC about a seed capital grant. So that's a positive thing for our county. We also applied for and received that APID, and again, we support the business and industry by partnering with the Chamber and Business and Industry Appreciation events. Business and Industry Appreciation Month is in May, so hopefully I'll get a resolution back to you all sometime to support a resolution to support our business and industry, and we'll have an event with the Chamber hopefully this year on that. Our RBEG loan program, or RBDG, I've got to change that E, it's Rural Business Development Grant now. Used to be Rural Business Enterprise Grant. So we have 36 loans approved to date, over $650,900 that have been approved by the EDA, and that attributes to 81 employees, 5 tourism related, 22 retail, 9 support businesses. That's sometimes businesses don't make it. We know that. Sometimes they last 10 years, sometimes they last 15 years, but it's important to have that fund so we can reinvest in other businesses that want to come in here. So a lot of small businesses have received grant funding as well. Here's some ribbon cuttings that we had last year, and some pictures. Some of y'all attended those. And then we also have the Seed Capital Grant Program through the region, through Virginia Coastal Economic Development Authority. 15 Scott County businesses have received grants since 2017 for a total of $145,000 for their businesses, and they could be up to $10,000. It could have been a $5,000 grant, $8,000, $9,000, but it's up to $10,000. Local and regional grants, y'all invested too, and I appreciate still the investment y'all made during COVID to our small businesses, and that's the total is about $1 million between what Scott County has given to the small business and what the region has given to the business, all throughout the county. And we continue to market our assets. Of course, the Duffield Technology Park, Duffield Industrial Park, and then you also have the Crooked Road Tech Center. That's right above that. That's an asset. And we have available space that we pushed that to the VDP last week in our meetings, that we had space available, and would like new technology or that type of business in the facility as well. We also help, we don't own the mine, we help them market that, and we also help market the Riverside and work with the developer on the new developer on the Riverside. Any questions?
Yeah, how about the bays at Riverside? Have y'all talked to them anymore about selling those?
We have talked to them. We have met with the individual, and we haven't got a final on that yet. No. We've got to meet with them again. Yeah, try to work something out. Yeah.
John, the money that we paid back for the mountaintop timber in Dungannon, $250,000. Where's that stand now? I mean, has all that ended, or I know they went through bankruptcy, but any chance of us getting any of that money back from them?
I think they started paying some of that. We probably need to direct the Commonwealth Attorney to see where they are on the process. I think that he had to go back to court or something, and I haven't heard the latest.
There's a lot of felons against all one where that shook out. You never hear anything about it, so I know it's nothing with you, but I was wondering. Well, I remember getting that $250,000 back. If we could ever get it back, probably not. But
well, he agreed to that.
Yeah, I know.
You know, so
it's hard to get blood out of a turnip.
Right. He owes that to the county and then to the state too. That same amount.
Where will we stand as far as the pecking order? I guess I know probably the banks get their money first, or where we're on as far as getting anything back.
Now, as far as the banks on the loans, they've settled that through the sale. It would be the county. I mean, whatever they agree to.
On the list?
Yeah, it'll go to the state and us.
Yeah.
That's what it'll be, yeah.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Kilgore?
What about the Teltec building? Got any prospects for it?
We'll work with the developer on that, and he's helping us on that as well. And hopefully we'll get somebody in to go in there. And there may be other plans, hire better use for that building than we're aware of, that he knows about.
All right. Any questions, Mr. Kilgore? Any other?
Thank you.
Richmond Lights, we appreciate you going, John. Everybody knows him, and we're blessed to have him. So we thank you for being a part of all that, and anyway, I do appreciate it. All right.
Well, I do, two things. It's the leadership program. You know, anybody wants to take the Scott, and I missed that. Kenny would kill me if I missed that. Scott County leadership classes are starting. If you want to register for that, or have anybody that wants to register for that, please do so through Penny and Scott County Chamber. And there's scholarship. I think it would be beneficial for if you're serving on any board to attend the leadership class. And if y'all want to attend one of y'all, it's great. It's a great learning experience. And also the Scott County Chamber annual dinner is back, and it's March the 10th, Friday, March the 10th. And it'll be at the Career and Tech School. And please sign up for that and talk to Penny about that. Two things, so I didn't miss it.
You're out of trouble now.
Penny would be proud of you.
All right, we're down to item number 17. Comments, requests, recommendations from the board. Anyone here? Mr. G, do you have anything? We do have 3 hours of closed session, so we'll go to closed session in a few minutes.
Frida and I went to a regional jail meeting yesterday, and looks like the inmate count is down from 2,200 to 1,500. Is that right, Frida?
Sounds good.
If y'all got any questions on regional jail, Frida Langstrom.
We are getting some reimbursement from what we paid. Did you tell me that, or is the cost going down or something? I don't remember what you said.
Yeah, our estimated budget will be reduced for next year based on our inmate count, but that's just a draft. We'll get a final number a little bit later.
The thing about the inmate count going down, but their cost stays the same as Florida. I mean, feeding them probably is not as much, but still they got to maintain and staff and everything. So,
You know what the rates are now? Frida?
Next year it's going to be $40-some a day. Yeah, because like Danny said, the fixed costs stay the same.
the inmate
But we've
costs go
got
up.
Regional authority wide, the inmate count's down for everybody. So, you know, those fixed costs stay the same. So that boosts up your per diem rate.
You know, they showed us yesterday that they have a big turnover in people. I mean, they're
Really?
hired and they're gone, and then some of them rehired. So
Wow.
big list of employees turnover.
Wow. Anything else?
Thank staff for all the job they do.
I'll second that motion. Mr. Tipton?
3 things, probably. I want to thank Frida. I know the picture's been back there for probably, a couple of months now. When I said something about it, she said, well, you was one who requested it, so. That's good, so. And I guess, just thinking about, you change up from board to board, I guess, that type of thing, so. I've already talked to VDOT about this, but Frida, if you just want to make a note of it, the Ann Good Cooper Highway, it's in pretty bad shape right now, potholes and so forth, and they're complaining about it. The other thing I would like to mention is the Veterans Memorial Tank. I'd just like for y'all to think about this. It's faded. There's some work that may need to be done on the wheels, and I don't want to go into that right now. But it's going to cost us quite a bit, and so the American Legion will be doing a lot of fundraising and things like that. But we might want to ask if you want to help. I'm not going to throw out any type of figure. I mean, it'd just be something that the county might be able to help with later. And the last thing is I'm just going to ask the question, on the lottery fund and the opioid fund, should we not have a committee to help with that as we've done with the ARPA funds and things like that? I know the opioid would probably be pretty much directed to what it needs to go to and how it's to be used and things like that.
There's a lot of strings with the opioid.
Right.
And the county administrators have met with behavioral health and Lenowisco about a large project with those funds. So there'll be more coming on that.
Right.
And there is a committee set up for the Regional Improvement Committee funds from the casino. This board has already set that up.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's Jeremy and Danny. And we've already met once.
Okay. All right, that answers my question.
All right.
Thank you.
That it? Mr. Harron?
No, I'm good.
Mr. Bricky?
No, I don't have anything. It's a pleasure to serve with all of you. Thanks to the Sheriff's Department. You keep coming, okay?
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah.
Ms. Hood?
I don't have anything, I'm just having the time of my life.
All right, I can tell you. You got that smile, so that's good. All right, Ms. Addy?
Do we have any news on the treasurer's report for the?
Yes, I have that.
Oh, fantastic.
Good job, Dick.
As of Monday, the 6th, they have collected $11,690.46 for 255 DMV stops since July 1st, 2022.
How many stops?
All right, 255.
255.
This is for this current fiscal year, that's what I asked her for, right, July to now.
July.
255 stops have been done, and they have collected $11,690.46.
The $11,690 is back taxes, technically, right? There's a fee associated with that as well, though, isn't there?
There is.
Yeah, we put a $20 fee on a long time ago.
Is that included, the $20 fee, is that included into that?
Probably is, I would think.
Probably that number.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's okay, that's okay.
I can find that out for you.
But that 11,000 is from July 1st through now.
Monday.
Through Monday.
Through Monday, so 7 months, 6 months, a little over 6.5 months, is that right?
24,000.
Do we know if any of those went through John Rife, or is that all through the treasurer's office? Do we know that? Ray, did you know?
Mr. Rife, I don't believe does the
He
EMV
doesn't
stops.
do
I
the,
thought they did. Well, they did.
he offered to do that, but
I was thinking, I saw when he was doing personal property on that thing we get.
he does do personal property, but he doesn't do the DMV stops. They can do it, but they don't.
That's what I'm thinking, personal property, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm good.
And hopefully there'll be another tax sale at the end of April. When I met with Mitzi, she mentioned that she is trying to get them back to 2 per year. We went to 1 per year during COVID, but she's trying to get them to go back to 2 per year. So April would be the next one.
Good.
And then one in the fall.
Fantastic, thank you.
You're welcome.
And investing some of the money, what was you telling me yesterday?
I've also, in January, I went to Richmond twice. The first trip, I met with Davenport while I was there, and where we have the courthouse, smaller project, and the Daisy Compton building project, we were working on that, and they have proposed that we invest some of the money, not in the state pool, but more in a bank financing or a bank investing. And right now rates are about 4%. And if we could invest $3 million, they're anticipating we could get $145,000 in interest for a year. So I've met with Mitzi about that too. Megan is working to get Davenport the needed history of bank statements that they need to help us get that investing going. So that, more details on that, I'll keep you updated as we move along, but we're just in the very beginning stages of that process right now.
Thank you.
but that would help with our debt service, you know, once we get that project and stuff moving along.
That was how much interest for you?
They're estimating about $145,000.
That's equivalent to about 1 penny, no, see, what is 1 penny increase?
Probably about 165 now.
So that's close to a penny increase.
3 million might be a little more than we can take out to invest, because that would be like for a year commitment. We might not be able to go that far, but that's why they will be reviewing those. It's 3 years of bank statements. They'll be seeing how our cash flows in and out to come up with a good recommendation number for us of what they feel like we can safely invest to get us through, especially the fall and the tax season.
One year we did a revenue anticipation loan that we didn't use it, we had it. I don't know what that costs to do that. It might be worth it if we did run short on cash to do that. Like, we did see what the...
It's pretty expensive. I'm thinking $40,000 to $50,000.
To do that?
Yeah, because you're paying that up front.
I know we did it for school board.
It's expensive.
Yeah, okay. It might be worth it then to do that. So, anyway. I like the $145,000 number though.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I think this is a positive move, you know, in that realm. I think, you know, we added another full-time employee to that position in the treasurer's office. And I think what would really be helpful to our citizens is to be able to see the higher percentages with the training I'm sure that she's gotten already, to be able to capture the real estate and personal property before they drop off. I think that would really be a great help to our county. I'm just not asking anything. I just think a lot of people are unaware of you know, where we're at in terms of our taxes, and they always come back to us as the board, and it's all team effort. You know, all of the agencies in our county, the sheriffs, you know, the commissioner of revenue, the treasurers, the board of supervisor, and everybody. So it's all about we the people. So I just want to make that comment. You know, we added another, you know, we made a part-time and full-time employee. So I'm speaking for myself, and you guys can speak for yourself, but I expect to see, you know, more that would be helpful, you know, to our county. So.
All right. For my comments, I do appreciate you all that went to Richmond. I've never felt, I felt that those are always productive. It seemed like this time, Mr. Ricky and Marshall and Frida and John, y'all went. I thought it was one of the most productive trips we made as far as getting some response back from the Attorney General to, you know, the meeting with the folks at VDOT there. There's many people in Terry's office, there's hardly no place to sit, and most of them are VDOT people. And I said that a while ago, but I thought it was very productive. It's expensive to send people for us to travel, but it's worth it. I think it's worth it to do that. So anyway, I thought it was very productive. Thank the staff, y'all do a good job. Law enforcement, thank y'all for being here. Appreciate you, Haley, for being here. And so, anyway, we do have 3 items to go into closed session for. Anything else before we do that? All right. We have 3 items, and we need a motion and a second. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Ricky made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Tipton, a second. On a motion by Mr. Bricky, second by Mr. Tipton, this board hereby enters into closed session pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711- being A1 personnel, being A7 legal, and then we got to consultation with legal. So it's 3 items we're going in for. All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. So we'll go into closed session, and we'll go with